2. Welcome back, MMAOddsBreaker. Of course, we got John Howard. We had him on here before, Doomsday. Last time we talked, he was getting ready for to be in the middle. He just lost a split decision to Brian Ebersol, right?
Yep.
And then was trying to get that fight again in the next one. And he obviously wanted to have it in Boston, where his hometown is, but instead to give you Lorenz Larkin in Boston. So you're on the Boston card, was what you wanted, but not the opponent that you originally wanted.
No, not originally, but to fight Lorenz Larkin is even better, man. I know he's a striker. I know he's gonna come forward. I come forward, and I know it's gonna be a war, man. I've been training for a war, of a striking war, and I'm excited, man. A lot of people don't know he beat Robbie Lawler. Yes, it was at 185, but him come back to 170. That means he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. But he has to get through me, and I don't think he's gonna get through me.
How big of a deal is it for you to be on this Boston card? It's your hometown. Obviously, it's headlined by McGregor, so it's a big star right now. Huge Irish community. You're obviously not Irish, but you're from Boston, so it's still going to be a big following. Is it really a big deal for you to be fighting at home?
It's a real big deal, man. I have a lot of people here, a lot of family, and even though I'm not Irish, man, I'm Irish bred. When you're from Boston, man, there's nothing but Irish around here, so I get the spiel of it, and I love it, man. But to be fighting in my hometown and on especially in this card, man, it's an honor, man. I can't wait, man. It's such a big deal, man. I have all my family, everybody gets to watch me, and all my Boston fans get to watch me. So I'm so happy.
It's gonna be pretty big, and the thing I like about Boston is that. They like who they like and they hate who they hate. If they don't know you, but you're from Boston, they're still going to cheer for you. So even if they don't know you, you're still going to have a big bang. Like a lot of people that be at the fight aren't necessarily going to know Conor McGregor. They don't necessarily know John Doomsday Howard. They're not going to know you guys because they're new fans of the sport. But once they hear that line, from Boston, from Ireland, it's going to be a huge deal. Is that going to play into the psychological game with Larkin? Is that going to play part of it? Is that part of the spiel you're going to push out there as it gets closer to the fight?
I think so. He has to. Boston fans are really, really mean.
Yeah.
From Boston, they can be really mean. They either love you, they hate you. There's no in between. I think it's gonna play a part, man. Once they find out he's fighting a Boston boy, all Boston, everything's outside. Pressure. But people ask me, do I feel the pressure fighting him? I don't, because I'm in my hometown. It's my backyard. And I'm more comfortable. I'll be sleeping in my bed. Be waking up in my neighborhood. I'll be driving around my own car. I won't have to ask for rides and go to the grocery store with the UFC. I can do my whole own thing. So I'm more comfortable where he is. So I think I have the whole field advantage. I have every single advantage coming to this fight.
Are you gonna check into the hotel on Tuesday like everybody else does? Or are you gonna stay home all the way through the fight?
No, I'm staying home, bro. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go there. Because I got to show my face, you got to get your credentials, autographs, and all that. But once that's done, I'm going home. Last time I fought in Boston, I was at home. I wasn't even in the hotel. The time I did go to the hotel was to make weight and after the fight. That's it.
Okay.
After that, no, I was home. I stayed home, sleeping in a hotel bed, but sleeping in your home bed when it's comfortable, you have your own groove, so much better, so much comfortable when you wake up into your own house. The feeling is so much better. You feel so more confident. You're so much relaxed.
So how far away is the TD Garden from your house? And how far of a drive is it going to be to go make weight on the Friday, the 17th? And how far of a drive is it going to be to get the fight on the 18th?
Oh, literally from TD Garden to my house is literally about 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute drive.
Oh, it's almost as far as the hotel anyway. So it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to be right down the street, People don't know that. A lot of people fighters say they're from Boston. They are from Boston, but I live inside of the city. I live in Dorchester, which is really it's 10 minutes from downtown. So I'm Boston native and city raised. So I'm in the city. I live in the city. So that being said, everything's right close to me. I'm so used to it. It's fun.
Your last fight was in September. Obviously now you're fighting in January. So is there anything special that you had to do to kind of keep yourself out of the gym, getting ready for this next training camp? Because your last fight with Ebersol was 5-6 months ago. It's not a long amount of time, but it's not a short amount of time either. Because I know you want to get right back in the gym after the fight. Did you have to pull yourself back a little bit before you started the heavy training camp for this fight with Larkin?
Not really. I didn't have to pull my back. But it's I like to stay relevant and shape just in case something dropped. And with the new welterweights and new champions being across, champions get hurt, stuff like that. So I always want to be in shape. I don't want to miss an opportunity where, say, someone gets hurt for a belt, and I get a chance. I want to be able ready, to at least give you like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I want to take the opportunity to get enough to get in shape, So I always try to stay relatively in shape. I don't overdo it, but I stay basically in shape. I never get out of shape.
Okay, so with this training camp, then, so you didn't you fought in September. You're back in the gym right away in October. How long is this training camp going to be in your thought process? Because I know there's part of it I'm in the gym, but I'm not in training camp yet. And then you're like, okay, I'm in training camp. So how long will this training camp actually be for this fight?
This training camp specifically was about 5 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Like I said, I did train just to stay in shape, but I turned it into a camp 6 weeks ago. So I'm still in camp, but that's when I picked it up. So I'm in hell of a shape now. I just can't wait. Like I tell everybody, my coaches always told me stay in halfway shape, and I'm in gym rap, so I love the sport. So any reason to go to the gym, I do it. Even just to watch, I'm gonna do it.
Well, let's talk about Larkin. You said he's a striker. He's gonna come forward. He's gonna come right in your face. You guys are basically gonna, whoever the ref is, Herbine or McCarthy, whatever. You guys are gonna start. You're gonna touch gloves, and you're gonna stay basically in the center fighting each other. But how do you really see? That's what it says on paper. But how do you see this fight actually really breaking down as you're trying to visualize it in your training sessions?
In training session, we visualize he's a good striker, I'm a powerful striker, 2 power hitters. So it's gonna be a chess match, but it's gonna be a chess match we call it a shotgun effect, meaning that once someone makes the wrong move, we're gonna expose it. He's a power hitter, I'm a power hitter, and I think it's gonna be one of those fights where it's gonna start off not slow. It's might be a little boring, but once we figure each other out, we're just gonna go ham. The difference between me and him is he's been knocked out before. I haven't. Not saying that he can't knock me out, but it's been proved that he's been knocked out. And I fought some of the best strikers in the world and never been knocked out. So, and I'm pretty sure he's feeling the pressure. And everybody knows in the UFC, I'm one of the heavy hitters.
You're on a 2-fight losing streak. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. Is this a loser leaves town fight for the both of you, or just for him?
I think it's probably for both of us. Maybe more on him. He feels the pressure more than me. But for both of us, I don't like to lose. Being if I don't like to lose, especially when the last fight I fought episode. I thought I won. People said I didn't do a lot of work, but I said I had cage control. My power shots were more effective, and he was running. There was one part of the fight that he ran a whole half the cage. I'm okay. He's not instigating the fight. He'll play tag and run. Play tag and run. And they're like, oh, he took you down. No, I was like, I took him down. I took his back. I controlled the whole round. And at the end of the round, he tried to take me down again. I stopped his takedown, but I was pressing on. He kept running. And to give him the decision, I was pissed because he tagged, but he didn't do nothing. I had no scratches, nothing. I could have been a model that same night. It was nothing on me. It was just crazy. But I changed my style up, be a little more aggressive, a little more combinations, and not really go for the knockout as much. Everybody knows I like to knock them out. I don't like to sit there and pity pat. I like to hit people. But I changed my style up. I'm definitely going to knockout, but I'm going to be a lot more point suave about it.
Okay. For this fight, are you going to be more of a kickboxer or more of a boxer with your style?
More of a kickboxer. I'm still using my Muay Thai, but I'm going to dive back into the traditional kickboxing style. More points, more kicks, more action. Because my power is the way I fight. I fight the old school Muay Thai way. Straight power, come in to hurt. Eat whatever comes in and just give them hell. That's the style I did. But it seems like with some of the judges, and the judges are crazy sometimes. I don't know who's watching the fights. Some guys like power, some guys like points. So since that's the case, I'm gonna mix it up as much as possible.
And that is a problem. We still have an issue with judges and some refs. I mean, obviously the UFC has the best refs, so you don't have a problem with the refereeing any longer. But there is still a judging problem, and it's everywhere. It's not. I mean, it doesn't make a difference if it's Wyoming or Ohio or California or Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. It doesn't make a difference. Everywhere you go, there's a problem. And it seems like in some of the smaller states, and Massachusetts is a smaller state, that it seems that there's bigger issues because there's not as many events being thrown there. Does the UFC take a risk sometimes with the judges when they go back to a place like Boston? It's a big city, but it's a small state as far as fight goes. They take a risk sometimes because the judges are, Herbine is licensed everywhere, so he refs everywhere. Big John McCarthy's licensed everywhere. He refs everywhere. But the judges aren't licensed everywhere. The judges usually are local. Does UFC take a risk sometimes with the judges because they're going back into a small state?
Yeah, it is. It can be. I mean, obviously, I love my state. I love my commission and everything, but it is a judge because what this is the qualification to be a MMA judge. There's no stipulations to it.
Right.
You know, like to be a boxing judge, you gotta have credentials. It's a class, something you gotta do. To be an MMA judge, there's no credential. You could say, "Oh, I trained MMA before. I did karate. I did boxing. I did some jiu-jitsu," and you fill out paperwork, and boom, that's how you're a judge. You know, which is it's okay for the guys who do know what they're watching, but it's not okay for the guys who don't know watching because you get these old school boxing judges, they know something, and they would sit there and watch, and what they judge is a fight because they have a boxing background. They don't know exactly what's going on. So it's a scary situation.
Yeah,
it is a situation, but you know what? You just go out there, wish for the best, and do your best.
Well, you can't leave it in the judge's hands. You gotta finish the fight. That's basically what I've been saying since the very inception of the sport. Like, if you have a problem with judges, don't let them make a decision. Finish it. There's no problem there.
I agree, but see, my problem is I know me. I like to finish fight. I like to knock my foes out. My problem is like when I'm fighting a fighter who does not want to sit there and engage me.
Yeah. Now what?
I think every judge should see that. I'm trying to finish the fight. I'm trying to put on the show. I'm trying to trade and fight. When you got a guy playing tag running, he's not engaging. He's not like, all right, finish your fight. At least I go for the finish. These guys don't go for the finish. They tag around, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, with Oddsbreaker, I thought he was a tie fight. I said, listen, let's have a tie fight. Let's do what we do best. And he really out to that. You know, I'll tag him up. He'll run. He'll like tag a few times. I'll still be aggressive, but when I got aggressive, he ran.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, fine, that's your strategy. But for the judges to see that I wasn't aggressive and trying to finish my fight, that's what makes me a little upset because at least I put the effort to finish. He didn't put in that whole fight. He had no intention to finish me, and I don't agree with.
So let's say about Larkin then. He's gonna have intention to finish you. You're gonna have intention to finish him. When are you gonna finish him? What round do you think you're gonna finish this fight off?
I need to figure out first round. It's probably gonna be a second round.
That makes sense.
Finished. To take down everything, I want to bang. You know, I'm the only guy. You know, the only guy. But I'm one of those guys where if I get one of the best strikers I can see, I'm standing bang with him. When I fought Bahadazada, people are like, oh, you gotta take him down because he's a striker. It's like, no, he's a good striker. He's like one of the best. And his country in the world, I'm like, I want to bang. I want to test my striker now. Everybody knows, I don't care how good of a striker everybody says you are or on paper you are, I'm going to test it out. I mean, my fight Thiago Alves, I knew he probably better Thai boxing than me. I didn't care. I want to see what's up, and we bang. We bang for 15 minutes. That's a fight. Even though I lost the fight, that's fights I want. That we're going to bang, we're going to get in the cage, we're going to settle it like real men. I love those fights. So Larkin knows that he's coming with power, I'm coming with power. It's going to be a slugfest.
And that's why you're a fan favorite, because you will stand in the center and trade, but sometimes standing there and trading, it'll cost you the fight. Instead of trying to get takedowns and trying to get on top of them, is there a point in there, or is there a code your coaches give you from the corner? Say, okay, look, we got to win this fight now, so let's change our strategy at least for 30 seconds of the last 30 seconds of the round. Get a takedown, get on top of them for a quick minute, just to make sure we win the round, so we can win the fight. Is there any type of that going on? Communication like that with your corner?
There is a little bit. Say if Larkin goes for the takedown or something like that, because I have to get the worst. Everything. If Larkin to knock him out to finish him, but knowing Larkin and knowing me, it's the strike his attitude. Once you get punched in the face, everything we train for, so let's go out the door. You just want to go bang. And I know the full-fledged strategies are, listen, this guy's a striker. He wants to stand. We go in and stand. Now, if they hit the ground, I have the jiu-jitsu. I have the experience to handle it. But I don't see this fight hitting the ground. This fight might hit the ground maybe 3 or 4 times, if even that. And it becomes a crazy exchange, and someone for weight tangle, or like we got tangled up, and it was just best to take it down. So something like that.
Well, John, thanks for coming on the MMA Oddsbreaker, man. You broke down the fight exactly the way that I anticipated the fight should go. And so you and I are in agreement on how this fight's going to break out. And I really, for the folks at home, you've got to watch this fight. And if you got to go to the bathroom or you need a beer before the fight starts, or if you get something to eat, you better do it during the intros. Because the fight's not getting out of the second round, in my opinion. But the first round is going to be the most exciting, because that's the feeling out process between John and Lorenz is not a typical feeling out process. How these two feel out their opponents, they hit them. And they want to see what the reaction is. So it's not like, oh, let me see how you react. They're going, nope, we're going to sit right here, and I'm going to bang. What do you do? Okay, I hit him with this. He hit me back with these 3 punches. Okay, now next time I hit him with this. Here come these 3 punches. And then you hit him with this, and he hits you something else. You're like, that's the game. So the feeling out process is not normal. It's not normal at all. It's kind of scary, actually, your feeling out process. It makes me a little nervous. I'm sitting at home. It's a little scary.
It is, but everybody knows, man, I like to bang, man, and it brought me to this level. And I'm going to keep going, man. And if I could beat this guy, man, I won't be chasing Robbie Lawler for that title belt. Because if this guy is that good to outstrike Robbie Lawler, and I can outstrike this kid, Robbie, you better watch out, man, because I will be coming for that belt. I will be coming for you. Definitely. I would love to fight Robbie for that belt.
Great fight.
A good striker finally got the title belt. Congratulations. But I think if I'm not the best welterweight striker in the world, I'm at least second to none. So I'm down.
Perfect. That's John Howard. He's fighting UFC in Boston on January 18th. Thanks, John. I appreciate you coming on here, man. That's great. It's gonna be a great fight.
I can't. It's like it's breaking up. Can you hear me?
Up a little bit. No worries. No worries.
Oh, thank you, man. Awesome. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, it should be a good fight, man. And, I'll be calling you with a victory.
Beautiful. I love it. Take care, John. We'll talk to you soon, bud. Hey, have a happy Christmas, too, and a good New Year. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Christmas, brother. Thank you. Merry Christmas.